What's going on, guys? It's Cath Anne, weekly host of the Homework Help Show and top writer at Homework Help Global. This week we are going to discuss 5 common words used in academia and how to improve your academic vocabulary. So this will actually be a series of videos in which I introduce you to 50 academic words and how you can incorporate them into your academic and English vocabulary. So I didn't want to bombard you at first, so we're going to start off with 5 and then move on from there in the future videos. Before I get started, I wanted to remind you that we do have a weekly live stream happening every week on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to be doing it on Instagram and Facebook Live. It's actually going to be a Q&A and also a chance for you guys to bring your homework or anything that you're working on, anything that you want to discuss, and we will try to answer your questions the best we can. So again, every Thursday, join us live, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram Live or Facebook Live. You can just look up Homework Help Global and we should be there. Add us on Instagram under Homework Help Global and follow along and ask your questions. It's also a great opportunity for you to incorporate some of the knowledge that you learn in these videos into communication through Instagram and ask any questions that you do have about the videos at that time. Okay, so let's jump into the content for this week. So in this lesson, as I mentioned, I'm going to be discussing 5 academic words which are very important if you are a university or college student or if you are intending to go to university. It can also help you on standardized testing if you are taking an ESL class or if you are studying to be a teacher who is teaching English as a second language. These words can definitely help, and the subsequent vocabulary lessons will also help you as well. So this has, all of these words came from a very common list of words that I just Googled. It is the top words that are used in the academic world and in the English language in academia. So just wanted to let you know that there is information out there about that if you're looking to kind of do some more research on your own about academic vocabulary. So in this segment, I will discuss the word. So I wanted to make sure that you guys were familiar with the word. I'm also going to discuss the part of speech that we are discussing. So in other words, is it a noun? Is it a pronoun? Is it an adjective? I think today we only have nouns and adjectives, but in the future we may have other types of parts of speech. So I will discuss the word, the part of speech, also the meaning, and then we will also put the word into a sentence so that you can understand it in context, because that is very important, particularly to get the meaning of something, but also to retain the information and memorize the words. So let's begin with this. The first word that we're going to discuss is alternative. Alternative is most commonly used as a noun. This means an additional choice, a possible remaining choice. Used in a sentence, she wanted to explore the alternative. In other words, she wanted to explore the additional choice. You could also say the alternative was to take Joe's car. In other words, taking Joe's car was the additional choice. It wasn't the first choice, but it was the alternative. Okay, and number 2 is the word assessment. You may be familiar with the word assessment because it is also related to test, and that's exactly what it means. Assessment in this case is a noun. Assessment is an evaluation of something that we don't often like to be scrutinized or be tested, but you may be familiar with the word because you might hear it in school. Someone wants to do an evaluation of you and they give you a test. That is an assessment. Most of us don't like assessments, but this is what the word means. Used in a sentence, you could say they wanted to do an assessment on the property. So in other words, maybe the insurance company wanted to come to the property, have their list, and check off their boxes to do an assessment of the property and make sure that everything is in line before the next people buy the house. That is assessment. So word number 3 is benefit. Benefit is a noun. Benefit means something that is good, something that is advantageous. Something that is advantageous. So we can use it in a sentence and say, he gained many benefits from the work at the store. One of the benefits might be that he gets a discount on his groceries, or maybe he gets a discount on his gas. That is a benefit. That is a positive, beneficial situation. Who doesn't want to save money? That is the word benefit. Another great word to incorporate into your academic writing. Number 4 word is one of my favorite words to use in academic writing, is the word complex. This is actually an adjective. We've discussed all nouns so far, but complex is an adjective. I should have noted before, there are some words that might sound the same or that might have a different meaning. So for example, instead of saying complex, we can also say complex, which is spelled the same, but it actually means something different. So in this case, we're discussing the word complex, whereas the word complex would refer to an apartment building or a large building, like a gym complex, for example. In this case, we are talking about the adjective complex. So if something is complex, it means that it has many different interconnected parts that are unique. They are all twisted and tied together, and they may be difficult to understand. So for example, you could describe something as a complex situation or a complex problem. You might also say that something is a complex issue. So for example, in the United States, race relations are a complex issue. These are some words that complex is used to describe. So problem, issue, situation, they can all be complex. We could also use it in a sentence and say, the professor explained the complex topic. So that implies that the topic that was being discussed is complicated, it's a little bit difficult to understand, but the professor explained it. If you are studying neuroscience, it is likely that you will encounter several complex topics. There are many other disciplines that involve complex topics as well, but that was just the example I came up with. So then, of course, our number 5 word for this week is concept. A concept is an idea about something that you form in your mind. So say you are thinking about something new, you're learning a new topic, you might think about it differently and come up with a new concept to try and explain that idea or show people. So for example, when the light bulb was invented, that was a new concept. Let's use it in a sentence. Traveling to Mars is an interesting concept. This means traveling to Mars is an interesting idea. It's an interesting thought. We may not know all the details about how to do it or why we want to do it, but it is an interesting concept to consider. It is something new and different that maybe we hadn't considered before. So all of the above words are helpful to incorporate into your academic writing. We have the word alternative, we have the word assessment, we have the word benefit, we have the word complex, and we have the word concept. They are all great words to incorporate into your writing. So now I wanted to discuss how to improve your vocabulary. I wanted to discuss one quick tip that can help you to effectively build your vocabulary if you are finding it is somewhat limited and you are just beginning in the academic field. You can certainly learn words, but it is more effective to learn phrases. So when we just memorize words, it can be difficult to retain that information because we're not putting it into context. So this is why I provided you with some ideas, some thoughts, and some sentences related to each word that we discussed. If you are hoping to remember some of the words we discussed today, right now try to incorporate them into sentences. And then share the sentences below in the comments if you guys don't mind. This will help you to retain some of the information that we have discussed. So choose one of these. It would be great if you guys could share in the comments a sentence that you come up with in relation to one of the words we have discussed today. I forgot to write complex and concept up here as well. We love when you guys engage, so please take some time to think about a sentence, and it will also help you to remember these words that we talked about. Put more than one sentence if you like. So that is it for me this week. I'm hoping that this series will be really valuable to you. We're going to talk about 50 different words. I think that next time we might do 10 in one session, but I didn't want to do too many today. Just to get this segment rolling, I decided to start with 5. So if you did enjoy this video and you think it will be valuable content, please give this video likes and a thumbs up. And follow us along on Instagram and Facebook, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We always love to hear from you, so DM us on Instagram, message us in the comments below. I can't wait to read your sentences. And that's it for this week. If this was of benefit to you, and if you want to gain access to any more of our content, we are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, Medium, and now we're also on SoundCloud, Anchor, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play Music. Just search Homework Help Global and we will be there. That's it for me this week. My name is Cath Anne, and I will talk to you soon.